So just 2 or 3 slides about Talend. So our goal, in fact, is to develop and democratize some markets. The first one in orange is data quality, data profiling. So in fact, it detects some issue in your data. The second one is data integration. It includes ETL, extract, transform, loading, to load your data warehouse, for example, but also to update your data, to manipulate your data, to cleanse your data, etc. MDM stands for Master Data Management. Is to manage all your master data, like your customer, your contract, and to be sure you are good quality inside this data. And if you correct, thanks, for example, cleansing tools, your data, to distribute all the change, to share all the change with your information system. And the last one in green is ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. It's to be able to deploy and to share easily your service with all the pieces in your information system. So that means, for example, if you create a data cleansing job, you can change it as a service and deploy it, and it can be reachable by any kind of application. It can be your ERP, but it can be also a PHP program, etc., etc. Our goal is to have something easy and simple to use. Just 2 screenshots to show you how it works. So we have an at-list-based environment. So you just drag and drop some component. For example, file component, Salesforce component, etc. You will just extract your data. And after you will map, thanks to tmap, your data. You will transform your data, and after put in your output. And just a quick preview of a tmap. A tmap is a component when you will drag and drop all the data, and you will do some changes inside your data. So now we have some tool to transform data. Let's speak about open data.
So let me explain a little bit what we do at DataPublica. DataPublica is a brand new company. We started in July. We're about 7 people right now, so small and starting. So the first thing we're doing is we are currently collecting and building the most complete and detailed information about electronic data available in France. So we're focusing on France. So when we talk about data, we talk about public data and private data. We talk about free data and charge for data. And we talk about regional data, national data, European data. So we're trying to find everything that's available there. And each time we find something, we bring it to our directory. We index it, we extract metadata information, and then we index the whole enchilada on both metadata and data. So today we've collected a little more than 10,000 data sets. So these data sets cover all kinds of topics, demography, geography, economics, sociology, names of people, etc., addresses, blah, blah, blah. For each one of them, we've collected metadata and data, and we maintain all this updated, which means as the data evolves, as things are restructured, we either refresh the data we have or we archive the data so that you will find interesting data available. So summarize, doing this, we are the quote-unquote Google of structured data available so that you can search. And we don't make a penny doing that because it's available online. So you can go there, you can search both on data and metadata, so you can find everything that says something about Paris and John Smith, or you can find anything that talks about ages, names, and salaries, and so on, okay? And then you'll have facets to search the stuff and so on. So it's interesting to wonder how much data is available out there. We did a search and tried to measure the amount of, the number of data sets currently publicly available on the web in European countries, okay? Our estimate for France is there is 6.5 million of those, okay? So which sounds good, except that you will quickly discover that the 6.5, out of the 6.5 million, 5.5 is PDF, okay? So it's almost unusable data, but a lot of people make use of this data, okay? If you look at purely tabular data, there's about 200,000 pieces of that. And if you look at XML data, there's about 500,000 of XML data. Which, when you search a little bit further, is disappointed because a lot of the XML data is actually textual data with a few flags in there. So you can equate that at the European level, there is tens of millions of available data and a few millions of tables. The interesting challenge is try to do something with all this. Open data is something that started something like in 2009 in the US at the initiative of the Obama administration. And here is the principal idea. So public sector information, which means the information that is, don't miss your train, okay? The data that is collected, maintained, and used by government organizations should be made available to citizens and businesses for access and reuse. So citizens, we mean you and I. You should be able to go out there and find what the government, on what does the government base its decision, what data does it have, and so on. So that's true for citizens. It's true, obviously, for the press. And there is a whole branch stemming from this, which is called data journalism, which means the press accessing interesting data and building interesting analysis from it. And, of course, citizens group who can gather this data. This data should also be available to businesses and mainly to either run their business or invent new models. And it's true that most of the applications that run on this kind of things today actually use public data in terms of maps and data available so that they can build stuff, transport data, et cetera, et cetera. So the motivation for making things available is numerous. The number one is what was paid by the taxpayer belongs to the taxpayer, so you already paid for it. The second thing is the political idea of transparency. Show me what you have, show me the truth, and maybe I can trust you more, okay? And the second thing is economic, because there's a strong belief that by making this data available, you will help businesses making wiser decisions, and eventually you will have new businesses building new business model around that, okay? So all this is for public information, and there are currently laws in most of democracies on earth that push administration. We say push, okay? Because it's not done yet, it's coming, but the trend is obviously there, and there is more and more public data available every day. So the principle of open data can be applied voluntarily to companies. So it makes sense for a company to make data available, once again, for the same reason. The first one is transparency. I can trust this company because I know what they have, I know what they do, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a good, it's bringing a good image there, and bringing a trust relationship between the company and its customers or users, okay? And the second thing is economics, because it's a smart thing to build around yourself an ecosystem of people who can do intelligent things with your business, okay? So for instance, the public transportation companies, if they make their data available about schedules and positions of buses and subways, etc., can see companies building interesting apps and around them and helping their customer making better use of their services.